It's Luke and Naomi.
Welcome to episode 83, Luke and Naomi on air, featuring Naomi's wonderful, wonderful Under a Rock reviews.
That's right.
Looking forward to this one. Welcome in. I'm Luke Austin. That's Naomi Lynn. Hello.
We're here.
If you are new,
Another day.
If you are new to the show, we are Luke and Naomi. We like to watch movies that Naomi's never seen because she's never seen any movies.
That's right.
And we get her reaction. I say that on purpose. That's an inside joke now.
Yeah, reaction.
Her reaction.
It's not a reaction video. There is a difference.
Reaction reviews.
Yeah, whatever.
For movies Naomi's never seen that everybody else has. So basically, if you've seen it, you can relive your first watch through Naomi's eyes. If you've never seen it, should you?
Yeah, exactly.
And a whole bunch of spoilers if you like that stuff too, if you've never seen these movies. So
Listen, if you've never seen these movies, that's on you because everybody has seen these movies.
that's right. And speaking of spoilers, we have done The Sixth Sense as well.
Yeah.
That's one of our flagship episodes, I'd say,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
that was great. And it still kind of blew Naomi away a little bit.
It did. The movie still holds up, even knowing what the giant spoiler is,
Yeah. So
It's still a good movie.
welcome in episode 83, The Departed, this episode.
That's right.
I had thought you'd seen this, so I've probably had it on, and you knew that maybe Jack Nicholson was in it or something, but we'll find out what Naomi knew about it going in and her thoughts going in after her review.
That's right.
With our regular review questions. So as we have been doing, another update on the salsa garden.
The plants are growing.
They look great.
Yeah.
I think we are losing that second jalapeno plant, though.
That's right. We're slowly killing the plants,
Still-
but the ones that are alive are doing very, very well.
I'm blaming birds because it just looks like it was picked at by some sort of bird.
Sure.
So
Let's go with that.
That's
yeah.
my absolute excuse, my story, and I'm sticking to it and all of that.
It's the bird's fault.
It is absolutely the bird's fault.
That's fine.
It is absolutely the bird's fault. So gardening, if you don't like gardening, you're not going to get into it because you're just not. And it's, it can be something that's fun for some people and not fun for other people.
You gotta want to like to do it,
But if you're around people who are constantly telling you that gardening is great, you're probably not going to want to get into it, right?
No, of course not.
A couple episodes back, we did a kind of a topic where we talked about things that you don't want or that you're tired of people telling you are great.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And so we had some great answers, but I found one of these lists where we, have some better answers.
Okay.
Or more answers. And I liked the answers, so I wanted to share those. So someone asked, I think it was Reddit or something like that, what are you sick of people trying to convince you is great? So number one on the list, starting a business.
Oh. So anytime I hear people talking about starting a business, I'm always like, do you know how much work that's going to be?
Right.
Are you really that dedicated? Are you a go-getter that when the chips are down, you're going to keep going? And 9 times out of 10, the person telling me that they want to start this business is not one of those kind of people.
Yeah. Also, are you smarter than a 5th grader? So,
Right?
a little bit of that
You kind
too.
of need that.
So yeah, the person here said some people are just not meant to be business owners, and they
Right.
don't mind, a boring, stable gig working for the man.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a steady paycheck. You can count on it. All of that.
So I thought that was a great answer because, not something you think about. But yeah, people are always like, oh, I got to work for myself, all
Yeah.
of that. So running is the second one on the list, and it's great. And I think this is the whole reason I wanted to bring this up because it come with a Joan Rivers quote that says, the first time I see a jogger smiling, I'll consider it.
Oh, that's a good point.
I mean,
I am never smiling while I'm running.
And I don't think I ever have to the times that I've tried to get, into the running game.
Yeah. But when I'm done, I'm smiling. I'm happy. It's over. And I feel good.
I can do it, and I know I should. It's just, yeah.
Do you
no.
want to?
But yeah, I don't think I ever got to the runner's high or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
And so, perfect for this list. Stanley mugs is the third thing on the list. I mean,
I hate Stanley mugs.
You know.
What a waste of money. I'm sorry, but no, absolutely not.
I don't care. My car's not going to catch fire. I know that whole chestnut.
And that was so stupid. So stupid. Who cares?
For real. So,
Honestly, if my car is on fire, the last thing I care about is the coffee mug that was in there.
right. I mean,
Hang on, I'm thirsty real
crazy
quick.
in all of that stuff, but like, let's make that into a big deal. So yeah, those things, that's great. Sick of people trying to tell me they're awesome. Listen, I'm never gonna stop saying it. My mug was at $8, $11 at Walmart. It's one of those Ozark Trail jobs, and it's like 30 ounces.
It works great.
Put the lid on. It keeps it cold. Keeps anything cold forever. Keeps my coffee hot all freaking day. And I'm not kidding. Like, it has literally 8 hours.
And you've had it for years.
And I've had it for years. So there you go. Don't need the Stanley mug. By the way, I bought the handle for $2.
Yeah.
So all of that. Hot weather is another one of the things on the list.
Lies. Hot weather is the best.
I like it better than cold weather.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You're sweaty. It's hot. It's but that's why people don't do much. You just kind of hang out.
Yeah, but if it's hot and you're sweaty, everybody else is sweaty too. So who cares?
And plus, especially here, there's air conditioning everywhere. So you just don't go outside.
There you go. Problem solved.
Yeah. So the hot weather TV shows people watch or music they're into. That's a very brutal one on the list. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. We're always talking about The Office and all that shit. So
yeah, and I've got a friend that always goes on and on about Friends, and I'm like, I don't care.
I have a friend who just won't shut up about Survivor, just constantly with the Survivor.
And it drives you nuts.
It's like Double Dare for grown-ups. I'd rather watch Double Dare. I'm telling you.
There you go. Yeah.
Anyway.
Jab, jab, jab.
That was on purpose.
Yes.
Kombucha.
I like it.
I know, but you don't go on and try to convince other people.
No, absolutely not. I am not going to try to convince other people to have that. I just like it, but I like weird things. It's weird.
The person here said it tastes like carbonated sock tea.
That's gross. No, it doesn't.
So I hope I remember that the next time you have. But you is kombucha all kombucha boozy, or is there
No,
kombucha
you have regular
kombucha?
and then you have hard kombucha.
Because in your defense or your accusation, you like the hard kombucha. That's I don't think
I get a buzz while drinking it. I feel healthy and get a buzz.
I don't think I've ever seen you drink a virgin kombucha.
I've tried it, but no, most of the time it's the alcoholic one.
Throw a little whiskey in there, I'm fine.
That's right.
Ice baths is the next thing.
Ooh, no.
So I mean, I get it. I kind of feel like when we do our not so polar plunge, it's because we're trying to get people to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, New Year's 2025, Fort Fisher Beach, North Carolina. If you're there, you're there. We'll see you at noon.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be there.
Donate some money to a charity. Come have some fun.
Yeah.
Tom made hot chocolate last year. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, it was a great time.
So we'll see you. But I'm not saying like it's the grit. And it just makes me feel guilty reading this on the list because
I know quite a few people who do those like what do you actually call it? A cold bath?
Cold plunge, ice bath.
Yeah.
I mean ice bath.
Ice bath, cold
whatever.
plunge. I know quite a few people who do this like regularly, like once a month kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they swear by it about how great they feel doing this, and I believe it. There's no way though. The once a year is enough.
Once a year is enough. I'll stick with New Year's.
That's so cold and so miserable, and I feel good afterwards, but not good enough to go back in.
Even then, I kind of dread it the whole way down there and all of that.
It's that feeling when you get done. It's like running. It's the feeling when you're done with it.
All right.
Yeah.
Runner. Listen here, jogger.
Hey.
Hot yoga is the next one on the list.
Hot yoga.
Yes.
Is that yoga in like a sauna?
I guess. Yeah. Yoga in a room where the heat's turned way up and you got to smell everybody.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that.
The idea of that. I mean, I know most people show up to yoga clean, but not everybody.
No, because if I'm going to get sweaty, then I'm going to wait and take a shower until afterwards.
And when people are sweating, it smells bad. I don't care. I'm not, I'll do hot yoga alone. Anytime I do yoga, I get sweaty. So there you go. Boom. Game over. Dancing. Someone said it isn't about letting loose or getting out of your shell. Some people just don't feel music that way. But okay, first of all, dancing is about letting loose and getting out of your shell.
Yeah.
But I get that some people don't feel that way about music. Those people are odd, in my opinion.
Squares.
Yeah, we just watched Footloose,
Yeah.
So that whole thing.
They were the ones coming up with the law to say you can't dance anymore.
Seriously, if you don't like music at all, let us know. I want to know because I would really like to know why.
How can you not like music? There's got to be at least one genre of music you like.
Especially if you've been with us right along, because at one point you would have had to listen to us on a music radio station.
Yeah.
So that.
There's no way that there's people out there that don't like music.
I've seen it on TV.
Well, it's
But
got
I
to
don't
be
know
a joke
if that was just
or
made
something.
up for TV.
It's got to be.
So dancing.
I feel like dancing is pretty close to that.
That's,
Like, even by yourself, you're not going to just kind of like sway and have the radio up. I mean, come on.
you know,
That's weird.
it is. It really is. The next one is, well, I'm going to skip the next one because I'm going to save the next one for last. AI. How about that?
Okay.
Sick of people trying to convince you that it's great, right?
Yeah.
AI. And
Absolutely.
cruises is the final one.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
So, I mean, you know, we did our cruise.
I loved it. We had a great time.
I had a great time. I enjoyed it. I could take many, many vacations without going on a cruise again.
Yeah.
It's just not.
It would just depend because I could go on a cruise again because we didn't have to pay an arm and leg to go. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah, if we got the same deal.
Yeah, I would probably go again for the same deal. But there's a lot of other places that I'd like to see and things I'd like to do before I get on my next cruise.
And you know, I'm not here for all that travel. Even I know I'm not driving the boat and I don't care, but you still got to like wait and just find something to do on the ship, which is usually drinking or eating. So
yeah, but what's wrong with that?
the gluttony is just.
That was the best part of the cruise. Hey, I don't know what to do. You want to go get some food? Okay.
I don't know, something about the whole experience. Like it was just like, yep, I've done this once. That's okay.
Okay.
It's just.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. We also lucked out that we didn't have like rough and stormy seas or anything
Yeah.
like that that would make us just terrified and be like, no, I'm never going on a cruise again.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So that I feel like I got off lucky.
Yes.
And you know, I'm not going to tempt fate and try it again either.
Okay.
So like, I'll throw that on top of there.
Yeah,
as well.
that makes sense.
But there's something about the whole experience where it's just like, I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
And I hate to be like that because cruising people are cruising people.
Yes.
And if you know about them, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely not one of those. Yeah. So there you go. That was a good list, and I liked it.
It was pretty good.
Even without throwing the cruises in there
Yeah.
at all.
The list was good. Yes.
Not bad, right? So, what is the other one? I can't remember if we talked about this before or not, but I have a friend who absolutely hates the whole bless you thing after sneezing.
Oh, like when someone sneezes?
He's like, why are we don't say anything when anybody burps, you know, or anything like that. And he just absolutely despises it. So when I saw this, I thought of him and that thing, but social etiquette rules that people are absolutely done with.
I'm tired of saying bless you when people sneeze.
Yeah.
But then I feel really bad if somebody sneezes and nobody says anything. Like, I feel like it's too quiet and you should say something.
I do it as a social experiment to see if anybody says anything, and I don't. Like, I won't say it on purpose.
Okay.
And it feels like tension.
Yeah.
Like they're
it feels
expecting it.
wrong.
And I have a coworker who, like myself, enjoys sneezing apparently really loud.
Okay.
And every time she does it, which just blows me away that it's a woman who just like, she sneezes like a guy who's trying to sneeze loud.
Okay.
And it's just like, are you doing that shit for attention? Because I am.
Could be. Could be.
You know, I like sneezing as loud as I can. You know why? Because you can.
Okay.
Oh, I can't help it. It's a sneeze. It snuck up on me. I don't know.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, it's an excuse to be loud in public.
Okay. All right.
And then
All
you
right.
get the whole manners about it. Oh, well, bless you about the whole thing. You
Yeah.
know? It should be more like, bless your heart. Cut it the hell out.
Yes, it should. It should.
So sometimes I'll yell across the room, cut it out. If somebody
you
gets
go.
to 2 or 3, and then that gets them laughing and they stop sneezing. So yeah,
So it works.
That's a good one. But I found another list. Of course, I love my list about this stuff. And these, I feel like I agree with the most of them, but I wanted to see what you thought. So
Okay.
the first one on the list, I definitely agree with. Not taking the last piece of food on a sharing platter.
Oh, like getting rid of that kind of rule
Yeah, like you're at a party.
and there's one slice of pizza left.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to grab that. Unless
Yeah.
anybody else wants it. And everybody else is like, no, because they don't want to be all polite and shit. Now I just got myself the last piece of pizza.
Makes sense.
You know, or
Yeah.
cookies or any
Yeah.
sort of
There
sharing
should-
situation, right? Like, we got to do away with that.
There shouldn't be a reason why you wouldn't eat the last of something because now that last thing is just going to sit there until the host ends up throwing it away later.
That is exactly the point. Like,
Yeah.
it usually ends up being wasted because everybody wanted to, you know,
Oh, no,
act
thank
like they're
you.
debutantes
Yeah.
when they're probably slamming beers at the same time, knowing a lot of people that I'm around. So not telling someone they have a piece of food in their teeth or on their face.
You have to tell somebody. Like, that's one of those easy fixes. You know the rule. It's like, what, if you can fix it in a minute or 5 seconds or something like
I've
that,
never heard
you
that
tell
rule.
somebody. If it's something they can't fix, you don't tell them.
I've never
Like,
heard that rule.
If there's something in your teeth, yeah, that's something you can fix. You let somebody know. If there's a gap in their teeth, they can't fix that. You don't point it out.
Okay.
Those are the rules.
That's excellent.
I don't remember the amount of time it was supposed to be, whether it was a minute or 5 minutes or something like that. But if it's something that can be fixed, yes,
No,
you
obviously,
let somebody know.
if you're standing around with 6 people, you don't have to holler it so all 6
hey,
people, you know.
there's spinach in your teeth, you weirdo.
Yeah, but you can go, hey, man, like that.
Yeah.
And try to
Hey.
get their attention, discreetly or
Yeah.
something. Let's do that. We need to evolve and fix this shit. Not wanting to be rude by calling somebody out for being rude. This might be one I disagree with because I get it. Like, you want to go, hey, man, that's rude. But now you are just kind of escalating things
Yeah.
and starting shit.
Because nobody handles being called rude very
Yeah.
well.
Oh, you know what? I apologize.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was being rude. Yeah, no, nobody takes it that
So-
way. I was not.
I get the spirit of why they wrote this one down. But,
I would like to call people out when they are being rude. That would be nice.
that one I kind of disagree with. So that's probably like a 50-50 thing, I would imagine. Another social etiquette rule people want to get rid of, refusing something so you are polite. Similar with the last piece of food on the platter.
Yeah.
Where
Or
you
refusing a drink when someone's like, hey, do you want a water or something? Oh, no, thank you.
yeah. Just to
Do you
try
want
to
a
be
seat?
polite.
No, thank you.
I like it when I have a chance to offer something to somebody and they're like, oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of cool. It's excellent transaction on both sides.
Right.
Instead of the, no, it's awkward. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Okay, well, I'm just going to set this bottle of water by you anyway,
The ridiculous
in case
back and
you
forth.
change your mind.
So, just is there a set limit? You got to say yes and no each 3 times before you think it's socially acceptable to take it. So, let's just do away with
Yeah.
that whole
Song and
hornet's
dance.
nest. Yes. Boom. Either one. Pick one. Asking, how are you? And expecting a standard lie in response.
Yeah, let's get rid of that. Like, I am so done with asking people how they are and then them just saying fine when they look all disheveled. But also at the same time, like, I don't really want to hear your life story either. So let's just have a different greeting.
Something, just hi.
Yeah.
Hey. And what's up is getting too far too, because I don't really
Yeah.
want to know what's up. Please don't tell me what's up. Nada.
Like, you need to be able to summarize what's going on in one sentence and just add that, where it's like a closed sentence.
You know,
So
how
I'm
about-
not going to ask questions unless I want to.
How about this? There's a guy I work with, Jack. He's awesome. And the way that we greet each other is we look at each other and point. And and just, sometimes a nod, sometimes not a freaking word. Because
like
we
that.
both know, listen, man, I'm busy. I know you're busy. No worries. What up? And then just keep, we don't even say a word anymore. It's just like, my man, all right, boom, keep going. It is wonderful.
I
It's the
like
best
that,
social
honestly.
interaction all
I
day.
really do. Like, I hate in the mornings when everyone is like, good morning, how are you? How was your night? All that. Who cares? I don't know what I did last night. I went to bed. I only have 3 hours between when I work and when I'm not working.
Same.
Like, I don't want to tell you all this
Yeah.
stuff. Also, I just woke up. I am cranky beyond belief. You don't want to talk to me right now.
When I get
Don't
to work,
ask how I am.
I've been awake for all of 10 minutes. So, you're going to need to give me a good hour.
Yeah.
So that is really legit. I mean, not the 10-minute thing, but I get to work. Let me get logged into my computer and sat down before you ask me how my weekend was and all that nonsense.
I hate that, where I still have my purse on my shoulder and I'm just getting stopped as I'm walking in to hear everyone's life story and, then to be asked 100 questions about what I did this weekend.
I'm pretty sure that's why Naomi goes to work, tries to get there before anybody else.
I try to.
She can be the first one there, so she can get there with 2 minutes.
And
of
then I
quiet.
can just hide,
Oh man! All right, where were we? So sending thank you notes to people who attended a funeral
Ooh, people do that?
or sent flowers or donations. There's actually a note here that says some people don't know this custom. It's like a regional or different thing. So yeah, I've never heard that
Yeah, me either. That would be weird.
because I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming, but you should know that I'm happy that you're there.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's a weird ass thing to send a thank you note to. A
Yeah.
funeral? No, thank you. Yes, thank you. No, thank you. I don't know.
No.
People expecting an immediate text or call back.
I think most people have gotten to the point where you don't expect that.
But don't you feel the anxiety? Like, if I don't reply right away.
Yes, absolutely. That's why I hate when my phone goes off. That's why, like, any, like, group text, half the time I block it. And so then later someone's like, hey, weren't you a part of that chain? And it was like, nah, I got out of there.
I find myself channeling my old man with this one.
Okay.
With the whole text thing. Because it's like, I am going to purposely wait a whole 60 seconds, 2 minutes before I reply back. Because, you know, I don't want people to be used to me being right there and on top of the phone all the time.
Right.
Even though I generally am. We all are. Whatever. But my dad, it reminds me of him back in the day because he used to have a thing where you couldn't answer the phone until it rang twice.
Huh, okay.
Because then people get used to you picking up super fast, and if they don't, they'll hang up. And it was, you know, back in the days of the landline, where if you missed a call, who the hell knows who it was for a month?
Yeah.
Hey, I tried to call you, 6 weeks ago.
Right.
Oh, that was you? It was a Tuesday. We used to remember that stuff. I swear to God.
Okay.
Just,
All right.
you don't remember the landline situation.
I do remember having a landline. It just, I don't know. Just not the same, I guess.
Not the same. All right. So that's the list.
All right.
You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
I
Totally fine.
I just feel like you went off the rails there.
A little bit,
but
it's okay.
was waiting for you to get back on the rails, but I didn't think that was happening.
You would just remember a random ass call because it was such a random thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
we've got a trip coming up.
We do.
We do. We are not heading to Jacksonville, thank God.
No.
Jacksonville,
Florida?
Jacksonville, Florida was just named the worst place to take a trip to.
Where's
in the United States.
Jacksonville, North Carolina on that list? Next.
It's got to be higher up, but
Barely.
I love you, Jacksonville, but not going.
No.
Love it, but yeah. So Forbes set out to name the worst place to spend a summer vacation. Jacksonville was named number 1.
I would think any place in Florida would be number 1. Sorry to everybody who always goes to Florida, but why? There are better places.
I mean, there's Orlando. You can go Disney World and stuff like that.
Sure.
I would do a Disney trip, just me and you.
Okay.
Would you go? Would you do Disney?
I probably... No, you know what? No, I wouldn't. Now that I think about it, no. It's so overpriced. Hell no.
Oh, there's that. Okay, you got me on the price.
I will go to Cedar Point in Ohio and have so much more fun. No.
The worst place to take a summer vacation, Jacksonville, Florida. The negatives, poor walkability, a lack of public transportation, high crime rate, and high summer heat index.
Well, of course.
So there's
it's
that,
Florida.
The second,
Why would you go to Florida at any point in the summertime? You go, if you are going to go to Florida, even though there are many other places to choose from.
That's a good point.
Wouldn't you go in January? Where it's the only part of the country that's warm?
I've been in January and like April to Disney World, and you're right. It's much, much better.
Yeah.
Colorado Springs was the second worst destination, which is not what I expected.
No, I wouldn't think anything in Colorado, but...
For real. Then
Okay.
Fresno, California, then Memphis, which is interesting because I've never heard like bad things about Memphis. I've heard a lot of good stuff.
No, but I can see it being a little sticky and hot, and you're just kind of... I'm not thinking of barbecue sauce. Is that where you thought I was going with that? Like when you're walking through a big city when it's hot, and you just feel like, with all the buildings around, there's no air circulating, all of that, everything is just sticky and gross.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by that.
That's what you meant. You weren't thinking of barbecue sauce.
No, I was not.
Albuquerque, New Mexico is next, then Indianapolis, which I've been to Indy. The walkability is fine. There isn't a ton of shit to do unless you're there in sports time.
Okay.
But summer is not necessarily sports time and no baseball.
And what else are you going to do there? They got some festival going on? Blueberry festival or something?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Apples?
I don't know.
We had the apple wine from somewhere in
that's
Indiana.
Right.
So
it was. Okay. So let's go with apples.
Check out Simpson Snacks for that one. It was great.
Yeah.
Then Louisville, Kentucky, Tampa, Tucson, Arizona, and Miami. You got Florida again.
Yeah.
The worst place for a summer vacation, Miami.
Again,
I don't know anybody who's ever had a summer vacation in Miami. That's a spring break destination.
yeah, or go anytime when it's colder everywhere else. Miami's probably just a hot mess in the summertime. Kind of like
cannot
Myrtle
imagine.
Beach.
I cannot imagine. Kind of like Myrtle Beach. Yeah, that's oof.
That's what I would expect in Miami.
Best summer vacation city in America? You want to throw any guesses out there?
It's got to be somewhere. Is it in a mountainous town?
No.
Okay, then I have nothing.
Minneapolis.
What?
I'm surprised as well.
What does...
I don't know. Summer in Minneapolis has got to be what? Not hot at all. And then there's trees and lakes and stuff out there, right?
Cool, but okay.
I guess there's attractions. They better not be counting Mall of America as like an attraction.
Oh gosh, I hope not. And if that's how you're spending your summer, like, I'm sorry, but you suck. That's boring.
This list is all over the place. The best summer vacation city: Minneapolis, then Long Beach, California, Washington D.C., Seattle, and Omaha, Nebraska.
What?
Shout out to Paulie.
Yeah,
He's right
but
there.
come on. I don't like that list. The whole thing's wrong now.
Paul, defend Omaha if you feel that you should.
Yeah, if you choose to do
If,
so.
if you want to, you don't have to. You can be like, nah, he's right. Or she's right, whichever
I'm
one
kind
of
of
us.
curious.
So anyway, that is to say that we're on a quick hiatus for the next couple of weeks because
Yeah, it's going to be a couple of weeks.
we will be heading to, oops, I just closed my random facts. We'll be heading to
Michigan?
Michigan. I almost said Minneapolis.
No, we're not going there. We're going to miss
gonna check
what's
it
so
out.
great.
We got to see why.
Yeah.
We got to see why. Michigan and then New York
Yeah.
and then back.
Yeah. A big triangle. And it's going to be a busy, like, 11 or 12 days.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot.
So, loose ends to tie up and all of that stuff to prepare
And then actually being on the road and all of that stuff. So,
yeah.
couple weeks.
We are going to be off for a couple of weeks. We will be back, I believe, around the 8th of July.
Yes.
That's when
Yep.
you plan to do the next one,
Yep.
boss?
That's right.
That's
I'm
right.
calling the shots. We are going to be exhausted and not thinking straight and just all over the place. But hey, is that really different than any other show? So it's fine.
Well put.
Yeah.
Excellently put. So there you go. We were going to, ask everybody to calculate our gas mileage and all that stuff.
Like
again.
last time when we did
But
this, but
Ralph seems to have cracked that code, so, why bother? But I tell you what, I want to hear some people's opinions on if we should leave immediately after work and then just kind of pull over and sleep at one point, or if we should try to do the fake force yourself to sleep for a couple hours thing and get up and leave at midnight.
but you never actually go to sleep. And if you do, it's only like 20 minutes. It's not worth it.
I don't know that I have ever really, like you said, other than, maybe falling asleep for 20 minutes, half an hour.
I think the best thing is just, keep the adrenaline from the day and just start driving until you're too tired.
Yeah. And
I
then-
think it's fine.
Yeah, so that's probably the way we're gonna go, I think. But I want to, I'd like to hear some arguments because you can't, it's not like you can take. I'm gonna take, some sleeping. What do they call the sleeping pills there that are? It doesn't matter.
Melatonin?
Yeah, that. I'm gonna take some NyQuil or whatever it is and knock yourself out for a little bit because then
Yeah.
you wake up and you're groggy and that's not worth it.
Yeah.
So what do you do? I don't know. We still haven't cracked this whole situation, so we're
You
gonna
just
find out.
deal. You be an adult and you deal.
I think it's a 15-hour shot this time. The first leg.
It's a long one.
We got 15, then 7, then like 12 and a half back home.
Yeah. It's not bad at all.
It'll be fun.
We could do it in our sleep.
This is fun. We're having fun.
That's right.
Fantastic. All right, looking forward to that. We will be back in a couple weeks, but we got to get to some random facts and of course Naomi's review. So without further ado, here is your recurrent dose of Did You Know? You didn't think I was going to remember either, did you?
No, I didn't.
I
But
did not either. Nailed it.
Good job.
Got to point it out.
Yeah.
Some random facts for episode 83. Did you know there is a common belief that 9 out of 10 restaurants fail in their first year, but a 20-year study found it's more like 1 in 6. So a little bit better odds.
Okay. I can see that.
Much better odds, right? I'm not good at the
It is better.
statistics,
That's
but
better.
that seems better, right? Did you know Ronald Reagan was going to pick Gerald Ford as his running mate in 1980, but Ford didn't want to because he didn't want to be vice president. I can't get through this without laughing at it. He wanted to be co-presidents.
Huh.
Doesn't it sound like a sixth grade like class election? Like,
Yeah.
No, let's be co-presidents, man.
Let's do it together.
And Reagan actually considered it for a minute, but then,
okay.
of course, H.W. Bush got the nod instead. Did you know the 2000 NBA draft was so bad that advanced statistics show the players from the draft collectively made their teams lose a total of 17 games more than they would have without those players?
Wow. What happened in 2000?
I would have to look up a handful of the players, but now I want to.
Yeah, I don't blame
you.
you.
That's just absurd, right?
Yeah.
2000 NBA draft. Wow. Did you know Ulysses S. Grant's middle name was Ulysses? His real first name is Hiram.
Oh, okay.
So Hiram Ulysses Grant was his real name, but he swapped the first and second names because when he was registering for the military, he didn't want to be known by the initials HUG.
Okay.
He didn't want them to pick up on that and call him Hug. Huggy Bear. The original Huggy Bear. Ulysses S. Grant.
Yeah, no.
I love it. But so he then switched and got the S in there because it was an accident. The Army put the S in there. His mother's maiden name was Simpson.
Okay.
So his initials became US, and he picked up the nickname Uncle Sam.
All right.
That was a whole bunch. But
It was.
multiple Ulysses S. Grant facts there for a second. I got one more.
Okay.
Did you know Alanis Morissette gets credit for Friends with Benefits?
Like the
The Oxford English Dictionary credits Alanis Morissette for creating the term Friends with Benefits.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because of Head Over Feet, the song.
Okay.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You're my best friend with benefits, the song goes, if you didn't know. So yeah, Alanis Morissette is the reason, at least according to the Oxford English Dictionary,
That's a phrase.
that Friends with Benefits is a phrase. 1995? Yes, 1995. How about that?
Wow.
I like that. That's pretty damn cool. That's one of the cooler facts we've had in a minute.
Yeah.
And that is your recurrent dose of Did You Know? Some random facts to get you hold you over until episode 84 in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Gotta wait for that episode, though.
It's going to be a great one. We'll double up on the random facts. We have even more useless gibberish.
We'll have stories from the road.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be great. All right. Last week, we talked about annoying stuff at the workplace.
Yes.
If you haven't seen Naomi's toilet roll picture,
It's beautiful, first of all. So head on over to Facebook. Check out Luke and Naomi on air. You'll see this beautiful photo of a bathroom stall.
nice looking bathroom.
The bathrooms are nice. And then as you're like looking closer at this picture of a bathroom stall, you'll notice that there is a toilet holder and it's empty. It still has that cardboard paper part that's left
The roll.
of
The
the
tube.
roll. Yeah, the tube is left there.
The hoof.
But that's it. But on the back of the toilet, you'll see a quarter used roll of toilet paper.
Quarter used?
It's probably a little bit less
I want to
than that.
defend. I want to defend.
But
Oh,
it's
it looks
used.
new, honestly.
It's used. It's
open.
It's
Open.
open, and it's like it's not sticky to the piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's
is-
been used.
It has obviously been used.
Yes. That's the beautiful picture you'll find on Facebook, and that's where my ranting and raving starts because that's something that drives me absolutely up the wall because it's not that hard to put that roll of toilet paper on the holder. Why not? I mean, you're sitting there peeing anyways. Do it while you're peeing. Who cares?
So, what?
It'll keep you entertained for
I literally
15 seconds.
just want to let you go. Let's see how long.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
I mean, you can't.
That's I am
it's
done.
your show. You can as long as you want to.
It just drives me nuts. That's all.
Drives you up the wall.
But probably the worst part about this is it's like a once a week occurrence. Once a week.
That's crazy.
Like you're telling me that you're that lazy. And it wasn't like just one time in a hurry kind of thing. It's somebody who's like, I ain't doing this.
Just no.
I ain't doing this.
I hate doing
this. Is
this.
not my job
I
or
don't like
whatever.
touching that thing.
Yeah. What the heck?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, now I'm done.
I had wrote when a coworker texts you, but they only say hey.
Ooh. I won't answer those.
I mean, if a friend or relative or what have you texts me that, it's like, hey, what up? And
Yeah.
then, they tell me. But a coworker,
No.
unless you're about to invite me to a party with free beer, you better not, just don't.
Yeah.
Just
Nope.
don't. So that's like a little thing that they can do. Or my favorite is, you know this one. Everybody knows this one. Just walk up to me and start talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like if I'm scrolling through Facebook and, spacing out for a minute, fine. So I get a minute or two every now and then to do that, and I can see. But like, you see me typing up a letter or something like
I'm
that?
in the middle of something, Give me a second. Let me finish my train of thought.
What happened to the, hey, let me know when you got a second,
Yes.
right?
That's just being polite in the office.
So, I mean, it's just a little thing. It's not
Yeah.
that big a deal. But it is a little thing, and it can drive you right up the wall. Snowman wanted to know what little things I do
That
drive you up the wall. I told him I'm completely innocent and plead the fifth. The fifth.
if he okay.
I plead the fifth. And Naomi said, maybe I'll mention it on the podcast next week. I hope you plead the fifth as well.
I plead the fifth.
All right.
I mean, there's not a lot of things that you do,
She's
That-
beat all of that out of me by now. Snowman.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
but before, there were a few things, and one of them was the starting talking while I'm typing away at something, and it was bad.
Oh, you're in the middle of something I can tell you're concentrating on? Hey,
And I'd be like, "What?"
look what I can do.
That's basically what it felt like.
Pretty much.
Oh my goodness.
Snowman says when a client insists they know how to do his job better. Well, that's a big thing, but I get it.
That is.
Because it is kind of a little thing. You're going to get it. He says, I just follow the advice of the penguins from Madagascar. Just smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave.
I like that. Just smile and wave. Because
like
sometimes
that
you
too.
got to do that when you're dealing with clients and things like that.
Yeah. Dallas says, there's one guy who does something just about every day that I absolutely can't stand when he does it, and I wish he would stop doing it, and that's showing up to work.
I had a coworker like that. And then one day they stopped showing up for work. And I was like, oh, this problem just fixed itself.
That's right. Just
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
nice when it works out that way, right?
Yeah. I didn't have to do anything.
What else we got? Paul says, wife had a coworker who would sit in the break room and block the only sink as they made slow drip coffee, which took quite a bit of time. On a similar note, they would also put their dishes in the sink for someone else to wash.
Oh my gosh. Anybody who has to share
It's kind of a bigger one too,
a sink area with multiple people knows how ridiculous some people can be. I don't think I've ever had a job where like the sink area actually got cleaned all the time and was taken care of. Somebody in the office,
I do
somebody
right now.
would leave a mug or something just full of water or blocking half the sink because they just left dirty dishes in there.
See, I hate
Don't you want to take those home? They're your dishes.
I hate using disposable stuff a lot, but that they're for work, so you don't leave
Yes.
dirty dishes in the sink and have to do dishes at freaking work too.
Right?
I mean, that's the whole point of why people don't do them,
Well, yeah, but
because you
I
don't want to
mean,
do dishes at work too.
but still, if you're
So
the
I
one
just
who
avoid it.
dirtied it, like, clean up after yourself. I didn't realize that was so hard as an adult until I started working with other people.
Absolutely, we absolutely touched a nerve with Naomi today.
Oh yeah, I like to complain.
Absolutely hit it. Paul also says people who microwave fish in a small break room.
Of course, absolutely.
Just don't.
Anything that you microwave that like stinks up the office, or like if you order a sub that's just full of like onions and garlic and stuff like that. Like,
Onions, when it's heavy on onions. I remember my news director back in the day used to get a sub every like evening.
Yeah.
And he would leave an hour or so before I would. Then I'd go in the studio do newscasts, and it would be like, does he smell bad? Oh no, that's
it was a
onions.
sub, yeah.
I remember one time going, dude. He goes, it's onions. I swear to God.
But still, like, I get it. Eat whatever you want to eat, all that. But if you're gonna eat some stinky food, like, save it for dinner.
Yeah, save it for home.
Don't do that in the workplace.
Don't eat it in the car either, because then you're going to stink of it even. But just
gross.
magnify that stuff. As if you don't know. We know. Everybody listens to Luke and Naomi knows. They get it.
Yeah.
Brian's answer. Brian from England says, "I hate at work when you go to make a coffee and someone leaves such a little bit of milk in the bottle
Oh,
that
okay.
wouldn't be even enough."
Yep.
He says because they're so lazy and won't open a new one and throw the old one away, they leave it for someone else.
Yep.
And then he says he thinks every company has someone who won't change a loo roll.
Yeah, I betcha. There's one
loo
guilty party all the time.
I love it. Thank you for the English talk, Brian.
That's right.
He does it on purpose. He knows I
appreciate
love
it.
The loo
Yeah.
roll. Wonderful. He says, I know we definitely have one of those at his company, too.
Yeah.
There you go. Ralph got about as fired up as you, I think, on this one. Even shared a picture, which you can see.
Nice.
Luke and
Bonus
Naomi on their
points
Facebook.
for the picture. I love it.
He says, this shit right here with like 7 exclamation points. He says, the trash can is literally next to the pot. So it's the Keurig with the K-cup left empty and used in the deal.
Yes.
Yeah. He says, the trash can is literally right next to it, but they leave the pot in every single time. Also, one of them parks by the garage door because it's 5 steps closer to the main entrance, then gets upset when they're asked to move their car because we got to load something up from the garage.
Well, how dumb can you be?
We caught Ralph with this one.
Yeah.
We hit him on a day like you're feeling.
But I get it.
Absolutely.
Because that would be absolutely ridiculous and annoying. And the K-cup thing, just throw it away. It's not that difficult. That's just like, if you've got a regular coffee maker at work and someone leaves just the tiniest sip of coffee left that's been sitting on the burner for like a half hour because nobody wants to deal with it.
Oh, the whole thing scorches and whatnot?
Yeah, nobody wants to make a fresh pot. And it's, come on, guys. Stop being so freaking lazy.
It's crazy. I don't even drink coffee at work because the people who make it in the morning make it so bad. I never knew. And if you don't know, I only started drinking coffee in 2019.
Yeah.
So it's not been a long time. So I'm new. But I do know to take the pot out afterwards.
That's right.
But they make it, and I never understood the whole mud thing until I started working where I work now. And I've twice I've tried the coffee there, and it's like,
And
oh,
had
man.
mud in the bottom of your cup.
And it was just like,
Yeah.
this says Folgers. I drink Folgers at home. This ain't Folgers. This doesn't taste like a Folgers. Yeah, it's absurd.
Gross.
So, anyway, that's the coffee at work apparently is a hot button issue too.
It is. Because coffee is so important. And, like, if you're going to be lazy about anything, don't be lazy about the coffee. Do something else.
Rest of the comments and leave your own if you haven't yet on Facebook, Luke and Naomi on air. You can drop those there. Check out everything else we've got going on. Follow us there if you haven't yet.
That's right.
I think that about cleans it up. No topic for next time because, again, we're going to be on the road for a couple of days. But we will have a couple of good ones when we get back.
That's right.
I saved one today that I really liked that I didn't even tell Naomi about.
Okay.
So really looking forward to that one for episode 84 to 85. But I think that cleans up everything as sloppy as it was.
Yeah.
Are you ready to get to it?
Yes.
I really should have pulled the Dropkick Murphy song and started shipping up to Boston. And
We didn't need to do that.
whoa.
Because they did that loud enough in the movie multiple times.
I do believe Scorsese did that extra loud on purpose.
But it was so annoying because we watch these movies later on a Sunday night. We have neighbors. I want to be respectful.
Oh, they
But
like
I
Dropkick Murphy.
also need to hear the dialogue. So sitting there turning it up real loud, then turning it down.
Oh, that's
back
right. This
and forth,
one,
back and forth, back and forth.
this one wasn't on the surround sound, so that added to it as well.
It did.
Which is just great. Yeah, so every time that song played, it was just
Obnoxious.
All right, Naomi.
Over the top.
Naomi has never seen The Departed, 2006, I believe. Martin Scorsese. We got DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack,
Yeah.
Marky Mark, Martin Sheen.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking.
Martin Sheen and Darlene, of course. I just love. He sees that girl like twice in the movie and just hi, Darlene.
Yeah.
Like as hard as he can. The Boston accents, of course. I love.
Yes, you love all the accents.
Dropping your eyes. All right, take it away.
So dumb. All right. So we're going to start in Boston with Jack Nicholson. He's basically running everything. We see him stop in a store. He gives the owner some money. Actually, no, the owner gives him some money from the drawer. He ends up taking a lighter, some items. He also helps out a kid that's sitting at the counter, gets him bread and milk and even a comic book. Then later we see that kid from the beginning. He's grown up now. Now he's a cop, apparently.
That's right.
Seems like a weird career choice, given that his mentor, Frank, earlier, seemed to be a big crime boss.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting, right?
All right, going to be a cop.
State police detective.
Well, he continued his schooling, ends up as a detective. So then we meet Leonardo DiCaprio's character. He's been called into the sergeant's office for all these things that his family has done that looks really shady, and they're asking him why he's pretending to be a cop. They tell him he's not a cop, all of that kind of stuff.
Marky Mark was insane in that scene, right?
He is, and he's insane in, like, the majority of this movie during his scenes. But I always looked at him as, like, the captain's right-hand man. And I barely mention him at all during my review.
Who, Marky Mark?
Yeah.
Well, he's not in a ton of the movie.
No, but I feel like I should have addressed him at some point in this movie, and I don't.
You know what? I was wondering the same thing because you didn't ask me what his name was.
Yeah, because I didn't know what his name was.
Dignam.
Yeah.
I think. Or
Yeah.
Dingham? No, it's whatever. It's one of those.
Dingham? I don't know. I wrote it down because I do mention him
Dingham,
like
yeah.
once. Yeah. Anyways, so, they're yelling at him, you're no cop, all of that. All right. So we see DiCaprio with his dying mother and a talk with his uncle that shows he's not really close with anyone in his family. At least I believe it was his mom that was, like, passing away.
It was, yep.
And then we see him at the funeral. So I guess DiCaprio at this point is going to be a cop. All right. At this point, we find out that he's undercover, but they're going to throw him in jail, make him go to counseling, all of this, make it very believable that he is not a cop and he's just a criminal. And then I'm realizing going backwards that, like, okay, so he used to be a cop, he still is, but he's pretending he's not, and now his name is Billy. All right, so I figured that much out. This movie was hard to understand who the key players were. It really was, until things really started moving,
And falling into place, yeah.
Yes.
See, this is a great example of relive it for the first time through Naomi's eyes, because I remember, as you're saying this, I remember watching it and going, wait,
But they just yelled at him going, you're not a cop. Wait, he used to be a cop? Okay, I guess that makes sense. Oh, okay, he used to be a cop, but now they're going to throw him in jail and all of that stuff, and now he's going to be an undercover cop.
He had just graduated and was basically applying for or reporting for assignment.
Okay.
And they were telling him, like, you're just not believable as a cop. We know your background. You were, half a scumbag, basically. When you hung out in Southie Projects, which is, like the bad side of Boston or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, so we want you to use that to help us, infiltrate Costello's gang.
Which makes sense, but not the first time watching it. You have no idea what's going on through this.
So that's what they were doing, basically.
All right, so I get to meet Billy, and I get to see Billy, at the bar, all of that kind of stuff. He seems like a loose cannon, just beating people up left and right.
Right. Like a criminal.
Yeah. Matt Damon, we find out, is Colin. He's the cop in the beginning that was hanging out with Frank Costello, whatever.
Yep.
He's doing his detective work, but he's also going out with this woman who's the counselor for, like, people who discharge their firearms in the line of duty, all of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
The scene where they officially meet and make dinner plans in the elevator is pretty cute. They kind of have a nice banter back and forth and all that. It's kind of funny.
And he's like, no, I don't need the card. I'm a detective. I'll find you. He's like, no, I'm just kidding. Let me have the card.
Yeah. But he's holding up the elevator, and there's a bunch of people on the elevator, so that's not cute. I was a little upset for the poor people in the elevator for that.
Of course you were. That's what you focused on.
Well, listen.
Now she's scolding Matt Damon.
No, well, you know what? A little bit, because I would have been pissed. I'm like, I'm trying to get to work here. Like, stop your flirting. Just get off the elevator.
Clearly delivering food behind him, too.
Yeah, like, what the heck? My food's going to get cold because you're trying to pick up a chick.
That's
get out
a
of
director
here.
right there. They wanted you to feel that.
It worked. It worked.
They put that guy in there on purpose.
Yeah. All right, so Jack Nicholson sits down next to Billy at a bar and asks him, do you know who I am? Billy says no, and Jack tells him to follow him. I'm guessing he's going to, like, take him under his wing, maybe. They're going to start working together, all of that. Looks like the guys that he beat up in the store when he was having breakfast, because he's a loose cannon and was, went nuts and beat up two guys.
Yeah, he beat up the mob guys.
Yeah, but
they were shaking down the guy. Sing.
Yeah, but, mind your business before you get killed. You have no idea what's going on here. Why did you step in? Anyways, looks like the people that, he beat up, they're going to go back after him, and Jack is basically offering him protection. At this moment, though, they search Billy, and he's got like a cast on one arm from beating up the other guys, all that, and they break the cast off of his arm because they're making sure that he doesn't have like a wire on him or drugs or I don't know.
A wire.
Yeah.
They checked his shoes and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they beat his broken, uncasted hand with his shoe while yelling, "Are you still a cop?" Obviously, Billy is screaming no, but hey, we know he's a liar. Then we see Colin and Costello, that's Jack Nicholson. They're having a conversation where Costello tells Colin where to find this gun after a murder, so it looks like he's solved the case and all of that.
That's right.
This is where I realized that Colin is Costello's plant in the police department. Which is funny that he's the plant and then Billy's in the police department, the plant for Costello.
That's right.
That
is funny. It took you that long into the movie to realize?
Yes.
Okay.
I was confused.
Okay.
I was very confused during the beginning part of this movie. I did not understand. But once that opened up, it was like, oh my gosh, this is going to end badly. You kind of realize, like, this spider web is going to eventually unravel here. All right, so they had Billy wearing a wire at one point. He's hanging out with Costello. I don't remember what they're talking about. Costello ends
Give
up
me a tuber. I'll get something out of it.
Ends up taking a hand out of a bag and is like taking the wedding ring off of it, and he's like, give this to his wife or what. It's a really creepy scene. And then Billy like runs in the bathroom and is like ripping off the wire and all of that stuff, and he's like, no more wires, I'm not doing this. And I don't blame him because he's gonna get killed. That's just too risky. Why would you make him wear a wire?
Yeah. That's a great scene. He's like trying to intimidate him with the hand on purpose and all that.
And it works. I mean,
super freaky.
Yeah. All right, so now we see Colin, who now has his own special team in the detective unit. He tells them all he thinks Costello has a plant in the police department, which is true, because it's him. But announcing it definitely makes it look like it's not him. Smart.
Yeah.
Then we get to see this web, So there's a guy that works with Costello that's being detained. So he called his lawyer, but no one showed up. Colin goes in pretending to be the lawyer, but also explains to the guy that the cameras are off and to call his mom and say he's not going to make it home for dinner.
Yep.
So the guy calls, but he's calling one of Costello's men, stating, the whole, hey, Mom, I'm not going to make it home for dinner. They realize that means it's a raid. They're coming, and that gives them enough time to pack up, destroy the place.
Simple code.
Yeah. So smart, though. And then, to make it even better, Colin comes out and he's talking to the other police guys and is like, run that last number he called. That's where he lives. That's his home. But they burned down the home,
Uh-oh.
It's so
it's
clever.
Great, right? It is, yeah. It's a super, super clever scene, and it's genius, but also so slimy.
Yeah.
Which is perfect.
But there are so many moments like that where it's just like everything that's going on here. You've got these two plants. I mean, eventually it's going to blow up, and it's going to blow up really bad. And every time you think it's going to, because he's in a situation like this, nope, he's got a way out. He's very clever, thinks on his feet, all of that. And that kept happening.
I like the way you put it. That's great.
So Billy is set to see a counselor, because that's part of his story, is that, after being a criminal and all that, he's got to go see a counselor. Happens to be the woman that Colin is dating, so that's going to be interesting when all that blows up as well.
Yep.
We're at a point where Billy's just having a hard time keeping it together and wants out. I don't blame him. I would be so scared. I'd be like, I'm not doing this. This is not worth whatever you're paying me, because it would not be worth whatever he's getting paid. He's like popping pills all the time, and he's just a anxious mess at this point.
They did say that, it was a substantial amount and tax-free. But
I still don't think it'd be enough.
at one point, he says he's under cover a year. Like one of the times they met under the bridge, and he's like, "I've been doing this a year, and I'm going crazy." And
Yeah.
I mean,
and you watch him unravel. It's a
great, excellent performance.
Yes.
I mean, both of them,
Yeah.
Damon and DiCaprio, both.
Yeah, so Billy is saying that he's having a hard time and he wants out. And then the guys that he's working with in the police department that knows he's a cop tell him that they believe that Costello has a cop working for him. So people are starting to realize, like, hey, there's something going on here.
Yeah.
Like, how is information getting leaked? All of that. So now Colin does the same thing he did when he pretended to be the lawyer for the bad guy. Him and his team are pulled into like an off-site operation, but he didn't actually know about it. It was kind of dropped on him in the last minute, probably because information got leaked, But anyway, Colin calls Costello, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, yeah, I'm not going to make it home for dinner." And it's such a just weird scene with Costello being like, "Oh, your mom's going to be bummed," or whatever he says.
Yeah, he's like something about her being upset him and his friends aren't going to be able to make it.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, no, my friends are still coming."
Yeah, yep. And so Costello knows what's going on. He knows they're being watched. He knows there's people out there. Yeah, they always said supper. I changed it to dinner every single time. I'm like, I'm not saying supper. I am not 80 years old.
The worst part about it is Martin Sheen saying supper when DiCaprio ends up at his house in his kitchen. He's like, "Yeah, come on to the kitchen. We'll have some supper." And he says it like 4 times, and it's just like, that sounds weird. Stop it.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. All
But
right.
I digress.
So Costello knows they're being watched. And then Colin texts him, all while leaving his phone in his pocket. So, he's got skills there. He could do the, what do they call it? The something 9 texting. Where you
T9?
had T9 texting. That's what it was. He's doing like that whole thing in his pocket. But
Which
he tells
is crazy, because I was never able to do that.
Well, he tells them not to use their phones. He says, like, no phones. Because the FBI is listening in.
Yep.
So, they're pretty solid with what they're doing here.
Yeah.
All right. So Colin has his girlfriend move in, but the girlfriend has been kind of going out with Billy as well.
A little bit.
So waiting for that still to finally
Hit the fan?
Yes. Colin talks with Costello about the possibility of a rat within his crew. So he tries to get social security numbers and birthdays, bank information, all that, so that he can hopefully run it and find out who the snitch is. Conversation is not going well, though. Costello was not happy about any of that stuff.
Right. Was that on the phone or in the theater?
That was before the theater scene. That was on the phone, where he's just kind of yelling about, like, you're not going to tell me what to do.
Give you.
Yes. Yeah. Didn't realize why he would be like that, but, I'll figure that out in a couple minutes here.
That's right.
All right. So Billy's then doing a job with one of Costello's men when the guy he's fighting says Costello is a protected FBI agent. That's why he never gets caught. At this point, I'm wondering if it's true, because if it is, I mean, that puts a pretty big wrinkle into all of this stuff.
It certainly does.
Yeah. So Colin is going to be tasked with interviewing everyone to find the informant. Meanwhile, his girlfriend's been busy hooking up with Billy, so that's getting messier. Costello has an envelope. We were talking earlier about everybody's social security numbers, bank information, birthdays, all that. He meets Colin at a pornographic theater to pass on the information so they can find that rat. So Billy actually followed Costello to that theater, and he's trying to find the guy that Costello has been talking to so he can find the police officer that is working for Costello.
Right.
Basically needs to ID Colin. He ends up losing him, though. After they leave the theater and everything, he just can't keep up.
That is such an intense chase.
It is, and then like some random guy gets stabbed in it, which is really sad.
A total bummer.
Yeah,
It's
that poor guy.
Such an intense chase. And then the thing that always gets me at the end of that is you see Colin walks out into the street, turns around and looks at the camera.
Yeah.
And your first thought is like, oh no.
Yeah.
But then he's like, oh. And the next thing you see is him looking at the footage trying to ID Billy.
Exactly.
Which is like, oh my God, he's such a slime ball. Like, it's perfect.
He is.
Yeah.
He plays the character well. All right, so Colin actually has a group start following the captain, stating there's been a lead that he may be the rat, but he knows if he follows the captain, he will meet with the rat eventually, and they'll find out who it is.
That's right.
So Billy ends up meeting with the captain, but feels like he must have been followed, and sure enough, he was. And we see that as the scene is leading up to where they go. You see people are following him, and the captain is basically like, stop, you're being paranoid. I am being careful, all of this stuff.
Yep.
But he's wrong. So Billy ends up getting a call from Costello's men saying they found the rat and gives him the address to where to go. So we know shit's about to go down.
That's right.
Yeah, and it does. Billy tried to escape. His captain meets with one of the guys, but they obviously want to know where the rat went. Of course, he's not going to give any answers. They end up throwing him off the building. Billy happens to be walking away right as that happens. So basically, the captain lands by his feet. And of course, they're coming right out the door, and he's right there as if he just arrived. But it was kind of odd, the whole scene, like, you can tell there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And
they do it really good.
You can feel the tension in that scene where Billy's like, I don't know if they believe me. God, I hope they believe me.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, I'm a dead man. I was late. I'm sorry. And they're yelling about him, why didn't you have your phone? Why didn't you answer? All of that kind of stuff. But then it's admitted that the guy who called Billy gave him the wrong address, but he still showed up at the right place. Now, I thought in the movie when this happened that they said the wrong address. I thought it was like a mistake in the movie.
Did you really?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was going to pause it and point that out, going, he said like 314 Washington, and it was 344 Wash,
Wash was just short for Washington.
Yeah, but still, like, I just assumed that it's just one of those mistakes that sometimes happens.
Continuity
in movies.
error, right?
Yeah. Nope. It was all a plan.
That's right.
Yeah. So, like I said, I thought it was a mistake in the movie. Luckily for Billy, the guy who called him ended up getting shot. And so, like, he's dying before he gets a chance to tell anyone, except for he does tell Billy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I thought it was kind of odd. Or he says something like, I mistakenly gave you the wrong address. You know?
He's like, I gave you the wrong address by mistake, and you still showed up to the right place.
Yeah.
And he says, tell me why I haven't told anybody.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to tell Billy, which you find out in the next scene.
Yeah. But yeah, so he told Billy that. So now Billy knows that someone knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we have Costello heading to a drug deal with Billy in the back. He's been followed by two cops, and Colin tells him, like, hey, you're being followed. Costello's basically yelling at him, well, do something about it. Get rid of him.
Yeah, get rid of the tail, he tells him.
Yeah. And, Colin over there feeling backed into the wall, like, I can't just keep getting rid of people. Like, I need a reason.
Yeah, I told you, it's not going to be that simple anymore, that subtle anymore, with
Yes.
the tails and all that stuff.
But he is able to do it. The whole thing still ends up going haywire, though. They end up getting busted. There's a shootout. Colin, who had the suspicion about Costello being an FBI informant because of everything that's been going on, and he saw in the captain's notebook that it had said something about him being an FBI informant as well, finds out, yes, he really was working for the FBI. Or sometimes, as he says it. Yeah, sometimes.
Of course I talk to the FBI. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. Colin confronted him, and Costello admitted to it, and Colin shoots him. I mean, he was already shot once, but, he took him out the rest of the way.
That's right.
Probably, of course, to make sure he doesn't say anything about him being a mole in the police department, because now he still has to worry about that. Even though he's asking him, did you tell anyone? Of course he's going to say no, but you never know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm sure, he probably kept some people to himself. But like he said, he goes, I only turned in people who were going down anyway.
That's what he said.
That's what he says. So you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Back at the police station, Colin and Billy finally meet. Billy's just saying that he wants his identity back in his life and, of course, his back pay. While Colin is checking things out, Billy sees the envelope that had collected all those social security numbers, bank information, all of that on Colin's desk. So now he knows Colin is the mole. So obviously he's got to take off because he's going to end up dead. Crazy scene. Crazy.
Good scene, right?
There's
quite a lot of good scenes in this movie.
Good scenes. All right, so then we see the counselor. She has moved in with Colin. She gets a package in the mail, and it's a CD. She listens to it while Colin is in the shower, and it's old conversations between Colin and Costello. She finds out he's been living this double life as well.
Yep. Now, the package was actually addressed to Colin from Billy Costigan.
Yeah.
That's why she opened it.
I did notice that. I don't know. I just assumed that she would know that it's from him and that she should open it,
Yeah.
But anyway, so she listens to it. She knows that it's the double life, all of that. Colin and Billy are going to try to meet up again.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So we know this has got to end well, right? Billy, again, just wants his life back, but also tries to arrest Colin. And it looks like he's going to. But then we have another officer that shows up that actually knows both guys, Billy and Colin.
Anthony Anderson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the guy is pointing his gun at Billy, and Billy keeps saying, "You know me, trust me, you know me," all this, and Colin just keeps yelling, "Shoot him!" But the officer actually lets him go through. They go down the elevator, although he's still pointing his gun at them. But when the door opens at the bottom of the elevator, there's a different officer there, and he shoots Billy. And I did not see that coming because I thought Billy would make it to the end of this movie.
Right.
Apparently not.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, he gets shot. And then the cop shoots the other officer that let Billy and Colin go. Then the officer turns and Colin shoots him. So basically everyone is dead. It's Game of Thrones. All the main characters are dead except Cersei. Well, I mean Colin, but, Cersei.
Sure.
Yeah. Obviously, Colin has a great story for how everything went down, so when he gets back to the police station, he seems so innocent and just, I'm so sad for all these people who lost their lives and, Billy should definitely get this high honor, this merit.
Medal of merit, yeah.
Yeah, all of this kind of stuff. And you just go, what a slimy little, the cuss words that I just want to say about this guy.
I love it.
I just hated him so bad. And I was like, man, there are some sneaky, terrible people like this in the real world. I'm like, I was so freaking mad. He's not in any trouble. They don't even suspend him, anything like that. So Colin comes home.
I love it.
He's got a bag full of groceries and it's Dignam.
That's right.
That's the captain's right-hand man that I haven't mentioned. I mentioned him once.
Marky Mark.
Yeah. He's in Colin's apartment and he shoots him. It is Game of Thrones. Everybody is dead.
That's right. Except for Marky Mark.
That's right. Now, I never even mentioned, all the fights that he has with everybody. I don't mention that he ends up getting suspended for 2 weeks, any of that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, because he attacks Colin. Because Colin wants to know the name of his undercover.
But I feel like I didn't think he was a main character. I didn't think he was going to matter. And we get to the end of the movie and it's like, holy crap, this is the guy that ends up saving the day. Righting the wrongs.
Marky bleeping Mark.
Yeah.
Whew.
What a ride.
Right.
What a ride.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Everybody's dead.
Everybody's dead. The end.
Huh?
All right. Excellent review of The Departed. I like that. Do you know that Costello is loosely based on Whitey Bulger?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Whitey Bulger in Boston and all that was a inspiration for Martin Scorsese with the movie and stuff like that.
Because we watched that
Black Mass.
Yes. Now I kind of want to rewatch that and just, compare the two.
Check it out a little bit more, right? Yeah. It's not about Whitey Bulger. It is just he is an inspiration, one of the inspirations for Frank Costello.
Okay.
And I believe there was an FBI agent involved that's actually in Black Mass. He is an inspiration for Colin. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
If I'm remembering that whole situation correct. So yeah, wasn't sure if you knew that or not, but now I'm getting ahead of myself. But did you like it?
I did like it. I liked it a lot.
The Departed.
Yeah. This is definitely one of those movies that I want to rewatch because now I know
right,
what
you
I
do.
should be looking for.
Right, you want to rewatch The Departed.
Listen, it took me almost half the movie to find out, wait a minute. The police have a mole and the crime lords have a mole here, you know?
Ah, that's fantastic. Did you catch that in the beginning when they said The Departed?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
What was his name? The Departed. Did you like it? Was that good? Was that a satisfying? If you don't know, Naomi really digs it when they cleverly say the name of the movie within the movie.
Yeah. It was okay.
Just okay?
It was just okay.
On a scale of 1 to 5?
On a scale of 1 to 5, I'm going to give it a 3.
A 3.
Like,
All right,
it
right
was
in the middle.
just okay.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
All right. So you liked it. The Departed got a 3. We got to remember that scale for the rest of them. What did you know about The Departed going in?
Not a whole lot.
That's it. Just not a whole lot.
Yeah, you know, and it's got the little spoofs of chunks of it from like The Simpsons and all of that,
Yeah.
but not enough to really understand what was going on.
Did you know any of the key actors?
Um,
Like, did you know that lineup was stacked like that?
no, I did not.
Okay.
I thought I knew like 2 or 3, but I definitely did not think all of those people were in that movie.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What did you think as you were going into watching The Departed when we decided we were going to watch it? What were your thoughts?
Well, I first noticed that it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes, so I was like, "Whew, this is going to be a sit." All right, let's get ready to do this. As we started, I found myself having to concentrate a lot to try to follow what was going on with the story. But they did a good job of keeping it entertained so that those moments when I went, "Oh, okay, Billy is this," I didn't feel like stupid about it. I felt like I was uncovering the mystery.
Nice.
So I really like that because there are some movies out there where they do that switch on you and you just go, was I supposed to know that? Like, I just feel dumb.
Okay.
So this was a good, like, it kept its pace really well. I, again, didn't feel like a dumbass while I was watching it. So even when they did trick me and confuse me, it was still very, very entertaining. So.
All right. Well, fantastic.
Yeah.
What surprised you?
A lot of things. There was a lot of points in this movie that I was not expecting. Like when you first hear that Costello might be an informant for the FBI, it's like, no way. Like, how would that even be possible? That's gonna, it's just not gonna work. The fact that they had, 2 different moles going at the same time, like that surprised me. How is that not gonna blow up even sooner? And every time I try to like poke little holes in the story, there was an answer, and a really well done answer.
Heck
you
yes.
know? It was just all around great.
All right. Would you have liked it more or less if you saw it when you were younger? It came out in 2006. So let's just say however old you were then, would you have liked it then?
Oh, definitely not.
Definitely not?
Yeah, I wouldn't have followed the storyline. I would have gotten bored with it. There's no way.
Okay. What was your favorite part?
There was a lot. Honestly, Billy getting shot at the end, I kind of enjoyed that because I definitely didn't see that coming.
That elevator door opens up and just bang.
Just gone, man. That might be my least favorite part too. I don't know. Like, I was shocked. He was supposed to get away. He finally arrested the guy. Like, justice will be served. No, absolutely not. This poor kid who went absolutely insane, being this mole, risking his life every single day, gets to the end of the road and gets shot and killed. Bam.
And like
Done.
so unceremoniously too, which is
So bad.
just fantastic. All right, so
I don't know if that should not be my favorate part, but I did like the fact that I definitely did not see that coming.
All right, well we'll call it your favorite part. What
Okay.
is your least favorite part?
Probably the same scene.
Oh,
Yes.
well, for real, you're gonna stick with that?
Any time that Colin was being a little scumbag, I just hated him so much.
I have to say, my least favorite part of the movie is either the Martin Sheen, come on, let's get some supper. And he says it like 85 times. And like he had to have had the worst Boston accent in the movie, I think.
Okay.
That or when Madeline, I think is the name of the shrink.
Yeah.
Vera Farmiga, whatever. She's moving in and she has the box of stuff.
Yeah.
And he pulls out a picture and he's like, oh, this ain't going out here.
That was just so weird.
I mean, Red Flag City. Run there. I mean, she did. You see that picture in her apartment later on when DiCaprio visits and he moves it from the lower part and hangs it up higher.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, they're about to do it.
Yeah.
And then that's the scene. But, like that would probably be my least favorite part is when he's just like, no, with the pictures. It's just so stupid.
It's cringy.
Yeah.
Like you said, red flags.
Red Flag City.
But I mean, he's got so many red flags. So a lot of the stuff that Colin does is just like, ooh,
Yeah, definitely.
Scummy.
Yeah, for sure.
And his lies. Oh, gosh, his lies.
It's written so well that when it first came out, I was pissed that Matt Damon had to be the scummy guy.
But he did it well.
Yeah, like around then, I was just like the biggest Matt. I mean, I still love Matt Damon. I'm a big
course.
fan. But like around then, I was just, yeah, hell yeah, Matt Damon. All right. And then he's the bad guy. I was so mad. It was great.
I liked you, man.
I know. I was like,
Yeah.
All right. Would you recommend it to someone else who hasn't seen it?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a big one.
Yes.
That's a big one with a lot of our review movies is would you recommend it?
Yes.
Because the zero recommendation only happens once in a great while.
And that's a bad movie.
And it's bad if you wouldn't recommend it. All right. Would you watch it again? You already said you would.
Yeah, I'm. This is one of the ones, probably at least top 10, probably top 5 of all the movies we've watched. I want to watch again because now I get the storyline. So, like I said, I want to see it all unfold, knowing what I should be looking for.
That's right. It is one of the few. I know that you said you wanted to watch again immediately, so that's fantastic too. Are you going to stop and watch it if it's on TV?
Probably, yeah.
Probably. Are you happy you watched it?
Of course.
That fits in a situation like this. Sometimes, are you happy you watched it is a more complex answer depending on the movie.
Yes.
That's why that question's in there if you're ever wondering. And do you have anything else to add about The Departed?
No, I don't.
All right. Well done. Great review. I liked it. I like your insight on a whole bunch of stuff within The Departed. That's at least our second Scorsese flick because we did Gangs of New York as well.
Oh, we did, yes.
So,
I knew the director name sounded familiar. I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure I've seen something that guy does.
That's right. You've seen a couple of things, but
yeah.
so you probably can count yourself a Scorsese fan at this point.
At this point, yeah, because I remember I liked that movie too.
Gangs of New York and The Departed. So,
yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, it's time for Thought of the Day.
Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's your thought of the day, thought of the day.
It's a really good one. People rarely have an accurate assessment of their own abilities. Most either over or underestimate their own strengths or weaknesses.
Yeah, that was heavy.
Yeah,
You
but
went-
it's a good one.
You went deep on us there.
Well, sometimes you have to.
Instead
We were
of
all
scary.
goofy the entire time,
Instead of scary, you went deep.
That's right.
Because some of them are just freaking terrifying.
Well,
I mean, you really hit those notes sometimes.
I want to leave you with a good thought, something to ponder after this is all over,
Oh, man.
All right, Luke, you going to leave us with a laugh?
I'm going to do my best. One time I had a girl tell me, this isn't working out between us. She said, for starters, I'm sick of your stupid jokes. I said, I see. What's the main course?
That's stupid.
You can see how that all went down.
Yeah.
I visited a friend at his new house. He told me to make myself at home, so I threw him out. I hate visitors.
Nice. I actually like that one.
My
That's a good one.
My GPS just told me to turn around. Now I can't see where I'm driving. I'm going to set it up sometime so I get a picture of that face. Because when I get her with one of these, it's that, like, she's mad at me for getting her face. So
It's because it's stupid.
It is. It was absolutely stupid. How about this one? What do you call a medieval spy?
What?
Surveillance.
No, that's so stupid.
I'm not sure. I think I like that one the best, to be honest with you.
Oh my gosh.
All right, that's gonna about do it for episode 83. It's been an extra long one this time because we're gonna be off for the next couple of weeks.
And also, that movie was 2 hours and 30 minutes, so reviewing it takes some time.
That's right. Don't forget to give us a follow on Luke and Naomi on Air on Facebook. Please follow the YouTube channel if you have not. You can get updated anytime we post anything, including Sips and Snacks. And I know we have at least one going up pretty soon.
Like tomorrow or the next day.
In the next couple of days. So
Yeah.
if you're following the YouTube channel, you get to check out the next Sips and Snacks. That one's going to be Lucky Charms, right?
Yes.
I didn't mean to spoil that. I don't know if
That's
you're keeping it a
okay.
surprise.
No. Lucky Charms. You'll find out what beer and wine pair with Lucky Charms.
We went 2 beers this time, actually.
We did.
So you can check those out. And the way that Ashley paired these, I'm not going to spoil that part.
Okay.
But it was really unique and extra cool. So if you give us that follow on the YouTube, you'll get the alert when we post that up there. But either way, be looking for it in the next couple of days and on the Facebook page as well.
That's right.
All right, until episode 84, we'll be on the Facebooks in between now and then, of course.
We will be posting a couple things, pictures, questions, all of that good stuff. We're not completely checking out for the next couple of weeks.
That's right. You might see a YouTube short or two as well
Yeah.
in between now and then. But until episode 84, have some fun and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.